it sure is hot tonight, ain't it? I know Rodley Brassfield said that too, but tonight it's hot enough for both of us, I'll tell you. One thing about me, though, is no matter what I wear, I always seem to look cool. I know that for a fact because when I was coming in up the steps to the auditorium just now, there was a couple of fellers standing outside, and one of them said, "Hey, that's Minnie Pearl," and the other one said, "Is that Minnie Pearl? She don't look so hot." But I found out one thing, the cooler a girl dresses, the quicker the fellers warm up to her.
Well, look, I agree with you about summer clothes. When summer comes, you should wear summer clothes.
That's just the trouble with summer clothes, though, Red. Some are clothes and some are not.
Okay, but just remember, Minnie, the gal that wears the halter takes the bridal trip to the altar.
Why, Red Foley, I
Yes,
dare
sir.
say.
And another thing, Minnie, that shade of lipstick you're wearing, that's a little too bright.
Oh, Red, I ain't got on no lipstick, but I've been thinking about wearing some real much here recent. Yes, sir. When a feller's aiming to kiss me, I ought to have something he can see to aim at. Well, sure ain't this hot weather just wonderful? We had a good time at our 4th of July celebration down there at Grinder's Switch. One of the mainest reasons was on account of because Uncle Nabob was celebrating in the way he always does. Uncle Nabob always celebrates the 4th with the 5th. And we had speech making. Oh, one real flowery feller. Oh, he talks so fancy like. And he was saying, in this great, broad, wonderful land of ours, nothing is impossible. And I heard Link Shank say, if he thinks nothing is impossible, he ought to see my mother-in-law. Well, old brother done a silly thing along about then. He had a bunch of firecrackers in his hip pocket, and absent-minded like he stuck a lit piece of punk down in the pocket. And when them fireworks went off, whoo! Brother sure burned his britches behind him. But I ain't scared now, I'll tell you. I ain't scared of most little old tiny small animals. But while me and Hezzy was sitting there on the grass, there was a little old tiny weasel come up to me and squealed.
Howdy, Minnie.
Well, Rodley Brassfield, how'd you weasel in here?
Minnie, I just wanted to ask you a question.
Well, go ahead, Rodley.
Well,
Since I've got old enough to know all the answers, I've just been dying for some feller to ask me the questions. What's the question you want to ask me?
this question concerns my gal, Susie.
Oh.
Yeah, it concerns my gal. She went out and bought herself a pair of slacks.
Well, now, Rodley, ain't Susie kind of, sort of big to be wearing slacks?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to. When she went out and got them slacks and she put them on and showed them to me, and she says to me, I bought these slacks last winter when they was cheap.
Yeah?
She says, don't you think I had good foresight?
Yeah.
I says, maybe you had good foresight, but by Ned, you wouldn't have bought them if you'd had any hindsight.
Well, Rodley, I'm ashamed of you. You ought to be ashamed.
Minnie Pearl, Miss Minnie.
What?
What's been going on down around old Grinder's Switch lately?
Well, things are on the up and up at Grinders.
They are?
Everything's moving up.
Good.
Cease Jones got one of them newfangled oil stoves, and that thing blowed up the other day. Blowed Cease and his old lady clean out the top of the roof.
Oh, my goodness.
First time they'd been out together since they got married. You see, he ain't like Lem Perkins. Lem takes his wife with him everywhere he goes.
He do?
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Liam do?
Yes, takes his wife with him everywhere he goes.
He do?
I said to him the other day, I said, Lem, it's the thought of you.
Yeah.
Taking your wife with you.
Well,
everywhere.
why do he take her everywhere he goes?
Well, he said she's so ugly, I'd rather take her with me than to kiss her goodbye. But, Rodley, I wish you could saw Brother what a good time he had on the 4th of July.
Brother.
Yes.
He had a good time.
Oh, wonderful time. You know them rich folks up there, back up there on the hill,
Yeah.
they've got a brand new swimming pool.
Oh, Slim Hooten.
Yeah, they got a brand new swimming pool.
Yeah, I've
all
seen 'em when
day,
they built it.
All day, the 4th of July, Brother was jumping in and out.
In and out of the pool.
Yeah.
Just having a fine time.
Yeah. Of course, he's going to have more fun next week when they put the water in it.
No wonder he's got a lump on his head.
Well, I'll tell you now, we were glad to see him be so feisty and have so much fun because he's been sick.
But,
Yes, he fell off and
brother?
got so thin we had to starch his underwear to hold him up.
Poor little old brother.
And we went over there and got him some medicine.
Yeah.
And now he's been keeping us awake.
What'd you
at
get?
night.
Yeah?
Well, there you see, a couple of nights ago, he was running up and down the hall all night long.
Running up and down the hall.
And the
all
next
night.
night, running up and down the hall.
Next
all
night, running up and down
The
the hall.
next night, he was skipping up and down the hall.
Skipping
Kept us awake all night.
Well, how come?
Well, you see, it was on account of because the medicine had on the front of it, it said, take it 2 nights running and skip a night.